Here we are getting into week 3, day 3. Now we're going to have a few review problems of some of the things that we've been talking about before. Like I can see number 4 has the addition problem. But this one is focusing a little bit more into our division. So we're going to be going over kind of our steps for our long division. Number 1, it says, what is 782 divided by 5? So if I set up 782 divided by 5, and I'm going to show it using our traditional long division. I know some people were using a box method, and if that was you and you are stuck on any, make sure you just come talk to me so we can go over that method together. I'm going to start off by thinking about how many times 5 can go into 7 without going over, and it is once. And 1 times 5 is 5, so that would give me 2 left over for the 100 spot. Then I bring down my 8, and I go through those steps again. 5 can go into 28 5 times, which gives me 25. So after my tens place, I have 3 left over. And I bring down my 2 to start talking about my 1s. So now I have 32 1s. 5 goes into 32 6 times, which is 30. And I have 2 left over. I have nothing else to bring down, so it becomes my remainder. So I get 156 with a remainder of 2. Okay. Number 2, when 507 is divided by 9, what is the remainder? So in this case, it doesn't even want the answer. I have to find the answer, but it wants the remainder. So 507 divided by 9. 9 can't go into 5, so I'm going to look at the number 50 together. 9 can go into 55 times, which is 45. 50 minus 45 is 5, and I bring down my 7 and look at 57 1s. 9 can go into 57 6 times, which is 54. If I subtract, I get 3, and I've got nothing left to bring down. So my remainder in this problem is 3. Number 3, a store can hold 583 cans of paint. If a shelf can hold 6 cans of paint, how many shelves would be needed to hold all the paint? So I'm envisioning here a whole bunch of paint, and I put 6 here, and 6 here, and 6 here, and I need to figure out how many basically rows or shelves I would need. So to do that, I'm going to divide. So 583 divided by 6. See, this kind of sets up our area model, where if I continued the square, inside I would need my 583 cans, and I've got my 6 rows, so I'm figuring out this other part. 6 can't go into 5, so I'm going to look at 58. 6 goes into 58 9 times, which gives me 54. So then I have a remainder of 4, and I bring down my 3. 6 can go into 43 7 times. 7 times 6 is 42, and I subtract, and I have 1 can of paint left over. So I have 97 rows of 6, and then I have 1 single can left over. Well, I can't not put that can out, and I can't squeeze it onto a shelf because it'll fall off. So I need to add a whole separate row just for that 1 can of paint. So I'm going to need 98 rows of paint, shelves for paint, just to hold that last one. Number 4, we're going to jump back up to a quick addition review. So I'm going to set up 1,486 plus 7,325. 6 plus 5 is 11. 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. And 7 plus 1 is 8. So we get letter B, 8,811. Number 5, what is the quotient? Quotient means to divide, just like product is multiply. Quotient is divide. So we're going to set up 1,248 divided by 4. 4 can't go into 1, so let's look at 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times, which is 12. So no remainder, but I bring down that 4 in the tens place. 4 goes into 4 once, which is 4. So again, no remainder at that point, and I bring down my 8 for my ones place. 4 goes into 8 twice, and no remainder overall. So I get 312, which is D. And number 6, Kim found 350 pieces of paper. If she can fit 7 pieces in one envelope, how many envelopes would she need? Okay, so I'm breaking up into groups of 7 to go in envelopes. So 350 divided by 7, and I see right away that this is an extended fact. The things that tell me that are the 0 here, and then I look at 35 and I see that that's a nice fact of 7. So 7 goes into 35 5 times, and then I can just have that 0 added on to the end. So I can tell right away that my answer is 50 because I know those extended facts. So that is our review for week 3, day 3. And again, if you do the box method, it's a very good method. I just did not show it here. So if you have a question on it, make sure you bring it in and we can talk about it.